Hello and welcome. Assalamu alaikum. And congratulations on taking your first steps in achieving your healthiest skin ever. My name's Lisa. I'm going to be your professional skin therapist today, taking you through your Nourish and Hydrate at-home skin treatment. Before we get started, let's just go through a couple of things you're going to need to complete your treatment. Firstly, you will need 2 towels, one to pop on your knee and one to dry your hands. You will also need a container of water to mix your products together. And if you have a bowl of water, that can be used to remove product from your skin with your sponges that are in your kit. To remove product, you will have your sponges in your kit, or you can choose to use a cloth from home or mittens if you have available. And then you also have your cotton discs in your kit also. And then lastly, you will need some hand sanitizer to sanitize your hands to make sure we're working safely and effectively. Let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. Our first step in our professional treatment at home is the Dermalogica Double Cleanse. Now, at Dermalogica, we believe that the double cleanse is super important in achieving that healthy skin. Our first cleanse, we're going to be using a pre-cleansing oil. Before we start cleansing on the face, if you want to take your 2 cotton discs in your box, I've already wet mine, so if you want to just put a little bit of water on them, and then you're going to take your pre-cleanse sachet and you're going to put a little bit of that pre-cleanse onto your cotton discs. And then what we're going to do is place these onto the eyes and just hold those cotton discs there for a couple of seconds to start to loosen any mascara and any makeup that we have on the eyes. Now, the pre-cleanse oil is the best to remove waterproof makeup, that's stubborn makeup, long stay foundation and lipsticks. And we want to ensure that we're removing all of that makeup and debris and excess oil on the skin before we move on to our second cleanse, which is going to treat and target our skin type and our skin condition. So what we're going to do next is take that pre-cleanse again, and you're going to apply the last bit into your hands. And what's great with these sachets is that you can use them more than once. So you don't just get one use, you get probably 2 or 3 uses out of one sachet. So you can take some more of that pre-cleanse into your hands. And what's really important in this next step is that we want to make sure that we're applying the pre-cleanse onto dry hands and onto a dry face. Now, what this pre-cleanse is going to do is really kind of dissolve everything on the skin. I'll take over my lips to take my lipstick off. And I can really smell that apricot kernel oil in there, which is really nourishing for the skin, and that borage seed oil, which is really soothing as well. So once we've massaged that in for a few minutes, what we can then do is take our water, and we're going to add some water onto the skin. When you add the water, what this is going to do is emulsify that pre-cleanse and turn it that white, milky color, as you can see. Now, that emulsification on the skin is really going to start to lift any excess oil, dirt, debris, and that makeup that we've dissolved on the skin as well. Once we've massaged that in for a minute, You can then go ahead with your sponges or your soft cloth or your mittens at home and remove. Now, once we've removed that pre-cleanse from the skin, we're then going to move on to our second cleanse, which is designed to target and treat our skin type and our skin conditions. Now, today we're really focusing on dry and dehydrated skin. So you're going to take your intensive moisture cleanser, which is in your kit, and you're going to put into your hands approximately a 1 dirham size amount, and then you're going to massage that into the skin. Now, intensive moisture cleanser is really designed for those more dehydrated and drier skins. So as you can see, it's a creamy cleanser, which is really going to nourish that parched, thirsty skin. You can use it on its own, and you can mix a little bit of water with it if you want to, if you like to use water to wash your face. And you have your safflower oil in here, which is super nourishing for the skin and packed full of those antioxidant vitamins like vitamin C and E, which are going to really help to protect the skin as well. And when your skin is dry, it's actually lacking oil versus dehydration, which is lacking water. So a lot of people get confused with dry skin and dehydrated skin, but really when we are thinking about skin that is thirsty, it's going to need kind of more of that water content and that oil in the skin. So a creamy cleanser is really good for kind of nourishing and really feeding that thirsty skin. So once you've massaged that in, you can go ahead again with your sponges or your cloth and remove from the skin. So once we've completed the Dermalogica double cleanse, that's really going to ensure that you've got a thoroughly, deeply cleansed skin. And what that means is when we move on to our other steps in our routine, like our exfoliation, our serum and our creams, that means that those serums are really going to be able to penetrate further because we've removed all of that debris that builds up during the day. Okay, so that completes our Dermalogica double cleanse. And we really want to educate our consumers and our customers that double cleansing is really effective at helping to reduce congestion on the skin and breakouts, and also really if you're using that skin specific cleanser, it's also, if you have more of a drier, dehydrated skin, really going to help to nourish and hydrate. Okay, so now we've double cleansed the skin, we're going to move on to our next step, which is exfoliation. Now, exfoliation is one of the best steps that you can do to really ensure that you're removing that buildup of dead skin on the surface. So if you want to take your daily superfolium, you're going to put approximately half a teaspoon into your hands, and you can see that grey powder. So inside your daily microfoliant, you have your Bincha-chan charcoal. Now, charcoal is a fantastic ingredient that really helps to draw out pollution from the skin. So what you can do then is take your water and you're going to mix that powder with your water to get a nice kind of foamy paste in your hands, like this. And then you can go ahead and apply onto your skin. You're going to massage that in in light circular movements all over the face. And that charcoal is really going to help to absorb any impurities, pollutants from the skin that build up, that can lead to, accelerated aging that we see in the form of fine lines, wrinkles, and hyperpigmentation. So your daily superfoliant is going to give you that resurfacing action on the skin to ensure that you're removing all of that dead skin that builds up on the surface. Once we've massaged that in for a couple of minutes, what you can then do is go ahead and remove the daily microfoliant with your sponges or your mittens or your cloth that you have at home. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my daily superfoliant with my cloth. And exfoliation, this is one of the best steps that you can incorporate into your routine. With the daily superfoliant, you can do this once a day if you want to. It is gentle enough to use daily to really help to brighten and smooth the skin. So now we've cleansed and we've exfoliated the skin. This is the ideal time to really get those ingredients into our skin. So now we're going to apply our masks onto the skin. And the first mask you're going to grab is your Stress Positive Eye Lift. You're going to take approximately a rice grain amount onto your ring finger, and you're going to split between your two ring fingers and then just gently apply around the eye area. Now, what this treatment and mask is going to do is it's going to really help to energize the eye area to reduce the signs of stress around the eyes. So if you have dark circles, if you have any puffiness around your eyes, this is a fantastic treatment to really brighten and energize the eye area. We're now going to apply our face mask, which in your kit is your skin hydrating mask. And you want to take approximately an almond or 1 dirham size amount into your hand if you're going to bring it onto the neck and the chest area also. If you're just applying onto the face, you can use about a blueberry size amount. I'm going to bring that onto my neck as well, because we do tend to forget our neck and chest area. And these are, also important. They're part of the face, so we want to make sure we're treating them as well. And then the areas where we see the first signs of aging is the neck and around the eyes and the lips. So again, we want to make sure that we're targeting those areas where the skin is a little bit more delicate also. So once you've applied your mask on the skin, you can leave it for up to 10 minutes. You can go and put your feet up, grab yourself a herbal tea and read a book, and just really take some time for yourself. Another thing that I like to do is I actually, on an evening, I will sleep in the skin hydrating mask. And again, what this does is really ensure that those ingredients are getting deeper into the skin. And at night time, this is when your skin will repair and regenerate itself. So that's another little tip that how you can use the skin hydrating mask. Another thing that I like to do is do some lymphatic drainage movements over the top. And this really helps to improve skin texture, that luminosity in the skin, and also stimulate the circulation. So what we can do is just with our fingers, we're going to start on the forehead and just lightly drain to the temples, down the sides of the face, and then down the neck just to above the clavicle. And you can do this, about 3-4 times, just to drain those toxins to the lymph nodes. Now, lymphatic drainage is fantastic, and it really aids in the skin health, and it's also linked very closely to our immune system also. So I'm going to do 3 of those. Then what I'm going to do is bring my middle fingers in the center of my eyebrows and just apply a light pressure and then drain to the temples. Now this movement is really good if you have those frown lines in between the eyebrows, if you suffer with headaches, just really helping to relieve any tension that builds up in the face. So I'm going to do that one more time. And then I'm going to move down to my sinuses. So what I'm going to do is with my index finger, just under my eyes, I'm going to apply a light pressure, and then with my fingers lightly drain under the eye area to the top of the ear. Then I'm going to come at the side of my nostril, apply a pressure, and then drain under the cheek to the bottom of the ear. And then I'm going to repeat that process 3 times. Now, if you suffer with allergies, if you get a stuffy nose, if you have sinus problems, these movements really help to detoxify, drain that buildup that we can get in our sinuses. Now these are just some additional movements if you choose to do over the top of your mask whilst it's on the skin. Then what we can do is once our mask has been on the skin for approximately 10 to 15 minutes, we can go ahead and remove with either our sponges or our cloths. Now, a mask is designed to give the skin a boost. So you can use your masks 2 to 3 times a week or whenever your skin needs it. With the skin hydrating mask, you have your cross-linked hyaluronic acid in there, which is really going to help to bind moisture to the skin tissue. And particularly if your skin is dehydrated and drier, this is great. This is what your skin needs. You also have your tomato seed oil in there, which is fantastic for really soothing the skin. And then your cucumber in there, which is nice and soothing and cooling as well. Another way you can use your skin hydrating mask is that it's a great remedy if you get sunburnt, as it's got really soothing and calming ingredients in there. Any rashes that you may experience on the skin. And also if you have dry cuticles, it's a fantastic remedy for hydrating the cuticle area as well. Okay, so now we've removed our mask, we're going on to our next step and our last step of our skin treatment, which is our finishing products. So we're going to start off with our stress positive eye lift. We can use this again during applying our finishing products. You can use your eye treatment and mask before your mask or also before your moisturizer. So I've took my stress positive eye lift, I have split it between my 2 ring fingers, and then I'm gently going to apply this around the eye area. I can then just do some light circles to push that product into the skin. And again, just remember that stress positive eye lift is really amazing for helping to reduce the signs of stress around the eye area and really help to brighten and energize around the eyes. Our next step is our intensive moisture balance. This is our moisturizer designed for dry skin. So you want to take approximately a blueberry size amount into your hands, and then you're going to apply that onto the face and neck. Now your intensive moisture balance has a triple moisture complex in here, which is going to ensure that we are nourishing the skin and helping to reinforce the skin's protective barrier. What happens when our skin's barrier is impaired or damaged is that the barrier can get gaps. And what happens is that moisture that's in your skin can escape through those gaps and those holes, which can lead to that feeling of tightness, dehydration, and that dryness on the skin. So with your intensive moisture balance, you're going to get that nourishment that the skin needs, and also we can help to reinforce and repair the skin's protective barrier. Our last step is our SPF, our sun protection. Now, if you ask any dermatologist or any any skin specialist what the most important product in your skincare regime is, they will tell you your sun protection. It's super important to ensure that we are protecting our skin from those damaging UV rays that are emitted from the sun. So if you want to take your sachet of your Invisible Physical Defense SPF 30, and you're going to apply that into your hands, about, again, a blueberry size amount, and then just apply that onto the skin. So I'm applying that all over my face, onto my neck. Sometimes if I have a little bit left over, I also apply it onto the back of my hands as well. If you think about it, your face is always on show and always exposed to the sun, as well as the back of your hands as well. So we want to ensure that we're applying our SPF every day, 365 days a year. One, obviously we want to protect from those damaging UV rays. And two, the sun is actually the main contributing trigger to accelerated aging, hyperpigmentation, dehydration, and dryness on the skin. So we want to ensure that we are protecting our skin from those rays from the sun. So that completes our at-home skin treatment. I hope you've enjoyed your treatment today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.